Ladies and gentlemen, feelings are not sudden but cultivated, much like a seed that requires nurturing before it can grow into a strong and healthy tree. In the modern world, people often mistake attraction or momentary interest for deep emotional connection. However, genuine feelings, whether love, trust, or affection, are not instantaneous. They emerge over time, shaped by experience, consistency, and the depth of understanding between individuals. The nature of human emotion is complex, and reducing it to something that appears instantly undermines the depth of connection that true feelings require. Consider how trust is built between two people. Trust is not something that can be demanded or assumed. It is earned through reliability, honesty, and repeated actions that demonstrate one's character. Similarly, affection and love grow in the same manner. A person may feel an initial spark of interest in another, but true emotional attachment requires more than just fleeting moments of excitement. It is developed through shared experiences, deep conversations, and the gradual unveiling of one's true self over time. If emotions were instantaneous, they would lack the stability needed for meaningful relationships. One of the reasons why feelings take time to develop is the role of perception. People are not always who they appear to be at first. Initial impressions are often based on external factors, such as appearance, social status, or charm, but true character is revealed only through consistent actions over time. When two people interact over weeks, months, or even years, they begin to see each other beyond the surface level. It is in this process of discovery that genuine feelings take root. Without this gradual unfolding, emotions would be built on illusion rather than reality. Moreover, emotions are deeply connected to past experiences and individual temperament. A person who has been hurt before may take longer to develop trust and affection, while someone who has had positive relationships may open up more easily. The pace at which emotions grow is different for each person, but in every case, they require a foundation of consistency and sincerity. If someone rushes feelings or expects instant emotional attachment, they often find that such emotions are shallow and short-lived. The most enduring feelings come from patience, effort, and the ability to navigate both good and difficult moments together. Another key factor in the cultivation of feelings is the role of virtue. A strong, disciplined individual who embodies wisdom and integrity is far more likely to inspire lasting emotions than someone who relies solely on charm or words. Feelings that are built on respect and admiration endure far longer than those that emerge from mere infatuation. When a person consistently demonstrates reliability, kindness, and depth of character, feelings naturally develop over time. This is why relationships that start with strong friendships or deep intellectual and emotional connections often lead to the most profound emotional bonds. Furthermore, the idea that feelings take time to develop is supported by nature itself. A great work of art is not created in a day. A mighty tree does not grow overnight. Everything that holds real value in life requires patience and effort. The same principle applies to emotions. If feelings were instant, they would not hold the same depth or significance. It is the time, struggle, and investment in a connection that make emotions meaningful. Many people search for shortcuts in developing emotional bonds, hoping that strong feelings can be created quickly. However, forcing emotions is like trying to make a plant grow faster by pulling on its leaves. It does more harm than good. True feelings flourish in an environment where there is trust, sincerity, and mutual respect. They cannot be manipulated or rushed. They must develop naturally, guided by shared experiences and genuine human connection. Ultimately, emotions are not sudden bursts of passion, but rather a slow burning fire that grows stronger with time. The longer and more carefully they are cultivated, the more resilient and meaningful they become. Virtue attracts virtue, much like a flame draws another flame, creating a brighter and more enduring light. In human relationships, the qualities we embody shape the kind of people we attract and connect with on a deep level. Those who cultivate wisdom, integrity, and strength of character naturally gravitate toward others who share these values. Just as a dishonest person is drawn to deception, and a weak-minded individual seeks comfort in those who validate their weaknesses, a person of virtue finds resonance in others who uphold similar principles. The foundation of meaningful relationships whether romantic, platonic, or professional, is built on this unspoken law of attraction between like-minded individuals. A person who values discipline and self-mastery will find it difficult to connect with someone who is careless and lacks direction. Virtue fosters admiration, and when one recognizes it in another, it creates a bond based on mutual respect. This is because true admiration is not born from fleeting qualities such as charm, appearance, or status, but from the consistency of one's actions and the depth of one's principles. Those who uphold virtues such as honesty, patience, and wisdom naturally recognize and appreciate these qualities in others, and they find fulfillment in relationships that reflect these values. In contrast, when a person of virtue surrounds themselves with those who lack it, they often experience dissonance. A disciplined person who values self-improvement will struggle to maintain deep connections with those who are indifferent to growth. A person of honesty will feel uneasy around deception. This is not a matter of superiority, but of alignment. Just as an athlete finds joy in training with someone equally dedicated to their craft, a virtuous person flourishes in the presence of others who share their moral compass. This alignment fosters stronger, deeper connections, built on trust and shared purpose. The power of virtue is that it creates an invisible force that repels the insincere and attracts the genuine. When a person consistently embodies integrity, they naturally filter out those who do not value truth. Those who practice discipline and self-restraint are unlikely to be drawn into relationships with those who are reckless and impulsive. This is because the principles that guide one's life also guide the people they attract. If one wishes to build meaningful relationships with those of high character, they must first become the kind of person who exemplifies those traits. Another reason virtue attracts virtue is that it provides stability in relationships. People of strong moral character do not form bonds out of mere convenience or temporary pleasure. Instead, they seek connections that are built on deeper values, ensuring that their relationships withstand the trials of time and adversity. Trust, after all, is the foundation of any lasting bond, and trust is only possible when both individuals operate with honesty and integrity. When virtue is the common ground, misunderstandings and betrayals become rare, replaced instead by mutual respect and a shared commitment to growth. This principle also applies to leadership and influence. A leader who embodies wisdom, justice, and discipline will inspire loyalty from those who value the same ideals. Those who lead through deception may gain followers, but they will attract those who are either easily manipulated or share the same lack of integrity. This is why great leaders, thinkers, and teachers throughout history have always emphasized the importance of personal virtue before seeking external success. The character of those we attract is often a mirror of our own. Ultimately, virtue does not need to seek recognition or validation. It stands on its own, drawing toward it those who recognize its worth. Just as light attracts those lost in darkness, true strength of character draws others who seek the same path. The relationships formed through virtue are not based on superficial needs, but on a foundation that grows stronger with time, creating bonds that are meaningful, enduring, and worthy of respect. True affection is built on respect, not impulse. In a world where emotions are often mistaken for fleeting excitement, it is easy to believe that love is something that happens in an instant. However, deep and lasting affection does not arise from sudden passion or momentary attraction. Instead, it is cultivated over time, rooted in admiration, trust, and a profound understanding of one another. When affection is based on impulse alone, it burns brightly but quickly fades. When it is grounded in respect, it withstands the tests of time and adversity. Respect is the foundation of genuine affection because it acknowledges the full depth of another person, not just their external qualities but their values, thoughts, and character. When one respects another, they do not seek to control, manipulate, or possess them. Instead, they appreciate them for who they truly are, allowing affection to develop naturally. This is why relationships built solely on impulse often struggle to endure. When emotions are based only on surface-level attraction or immediate gratification, they lack the stability needed to grow into something meaningful. Impulse is often driven by temporary desires or illusions, leading people to form attachments based on what they think they want in the moment, rather than what is truly valuable. Infatuation can be powerful, but it does not provide the depth needed to sustain a relationship through life's challenges. When emotions are based on impulse, they are unpredictable, rising and falling with circumstances, mood, and external influence. In contrast, respect is a steady force. It does not waver with time because it is based on something deeper than fleeting emotion. One of the clearest signs of affection rooted in respect is patience. When people truly value one another, they do not rush emotions or force a connection. They take the time to understand each other, learning about strengths and weaknesses, dreams and fears. They do not demand immediate affection or commitment, but instead allow feelings to develop naturally. This patience reflects a deep recognition of the other person's individuality, showing that they are valued for who they are, not just for the way they make someone feel in a single moment. Another defining aspect of respect in affection is the ability to accept imperfections. Impulse-driven emotions often arise from idealized perceptions, where a person is admired for a narrow set of qualities, while their flaws are ignored or overlooked. When reality does not align with these expectations, the feelings quickly fade. However, when affection is built on respect, it is not dependent on perfection. Instead, it acknowledges and embraces the complexities of human nature. Respect allows individuals to see each other clearly, appreciating strengths while also understanding weaknesses. This creates a connection that is honest and enduring, rather than fragile and conditional. Affection based on respect also fosters emotional security. When people value and honor each other, they do not create relationships filled with jealousy, manipulation, or control. They trust each other's choices and intentions, knowing that their bond is built on something stronger than mere attraction. This security allows for deeper emotional intimacy, as both individuals feel safe to express themselves without fear of judgment or betrayal. In contrast, when relationships are driven by impulse, they often lack this stability, leading to doubt, insecurity, and emotional turbulence. The ability to grow together is another key feature of affection built on respect. True admiration is not static. It evolves as individuals continue to learn and develop. When people respect each other, they support one another's growth, encouraging self-improvement and deeper self-awareness. They do not feel threatened by change, but instead embrace it, knowing that love is not about holding someone in place, but walking alongside them as they evolve. Impulse-driven affection, on the other hand, is often resistant to change. It thrives in the excitement of newness, but struggles to adapt when life presents challenges. Ultimately, the difference between respect and impulse is the difference between something that lasts and something that fades. Respect allows affection to deepen over time, transforming it into something meaningful and unshakable. It is the quiet strength that holds people together when passion alone is not enough. Without respect, affection is merely a passing emotion. With it, love becomes something enduring, something real, and something worthy of trust. Control over emotions leads to deeper connections because it allows individuals to interact with clarity, patience, and understanding rather than being driven by momentary feelings. Emotions are powerful, but when they dictate actions without restraint, they often lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and instability in relationships. True connection requires a foundation of trust and consistency, both of which are only possible when one has mastery over their emotions. Without control, emotions fluctuate wildly, making relationships unpredictable and fragile. However, when emotions are regulated, they serve as a guiding force rather than a source of chaos, fostering meaningful and lasting bonds. One of the greatest benefits of emotional control is the ability to communicate effectively. In any relationship, misunderstandings and disagreements are inevitable. However, when individuals react impulsively to their emotions, they may say things they do not mean or make decisions they later regret. Anger can lead to hurtful words, jealousy can cause unnecessary accusations, and frustration can create distance. When emotions control a person instead of the other way around, interactions become reactive rather than thoughtful. On the other hand, when one has the discipline to pause, reflect, and respond with intention, conversations become more constructive. Instead of lashing out, a person who manages their emotions seeks to understand. Instead of becoming defensive, they listen. This ability to remain calm and composed strengthens trust and respect between individuals, leading to deeper connections. Another key aspect of emotional control is resilience. Relationships are not without challenges. There will be moments of disappointment, frustration, or even pain. Those who lack emotional control often allow these moments to define their relationships, reacting impulsively by withdrawing, blaming, or giving up. However, those who have mastered their emotions understand that difficulties are a natural part of human connection. Instead of allowing emotions to dictate their actions, they process them with wisdom and patience. They do not make rash decisions based on temporary feelings, and as a result, their relationships remain stable even in the face of hardship. By maintaining emotional balance, they create a space where both individuals feel safe to navigate challenges together, rather than being torn apart by them. Emotional control also fosters a greater sense of empathy. When people are overwhelmed by their own emotions, they often struggle to see beyond themselves. Anger, sadness, and frustration can become consuming, making it difficult to consider the perspective of others. However, when emotions are regulated, there is more room for understanding. A person who controls their emotions can step outside their own feelings and recognize what another person is experiencing. They can offer patience when someone else is struggling, compassion when another is in pain, and encouragement when someone feels uncertain. This ability to provide emotional stability for others deepens relationships, as it creates a foundation of trust and support. In addition, emotional control strengthens self-respect, which in turn enhances relationships. When one is easily swayed by emotions, they often act in ways that do not align with their values. They may become overly dependent on others for validation, act out of fear rather than confidence, or allow their emotions to lead them into situations they later regret. However, when emotions are managed with discipline, one remains true to their principles. They do not allow temporary feelings to dictate their worth or actions. This self-respect naturally commands respect from others, leading to healthier, more balanced connections. Those who maintain emotional control do not seek approval from desperation, but instead cultivate relationships based on mutual admiration and understanding. Lastly, emotional control leads to greater emotional depth. Many believe that strong emotions indicate strong love or deep connection, but uncontrolled emotions often create instability rather than depth. True emotional depth comes from understanding one's own feelings and expressing them in a way that strengthens rather than weakens a bond. A person who is able to regulate their emotions can experience love, joy, and purpose while still maintaining clarity and purpose. They do not let their emotions overpower them, but instead use them to build meaningful and lasting relationships. Ultimately, emotional control is not about suppressing feelings, but about guiding them with wisdom. It allows individuals to connect with others in a way that is stable, thoughtful, and enduring. When emotions are controlled, relationships are no longer dictated by fleeting impulses, but by intentional choices, leading to deeper, stronger, and more fulfilling connections. Patience is the key to meaningful bonds because it allows relationships to develop naturally, fosters understanding, and strengthens trust between individuals. In a world where instant gratification is often prioritized, many expect connections to form quickly and effortlessly. However, deep and lasting relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, require time, effort, and the ability to endure challenges without rushing the process. Patience ensures that emotions are given the space to mature, misunderstandings are handled with wisdom, and trust is built on a solid foundation rather than fleeting excitement. One of the most important aspects of patience in relationships is the role it plays in allowing genuine connection to develop. Strong bonds cannot be forced or accelerated. Just as a tree does not grow overnight, meaningful relationships take time to flourish. People need time to truly understand each other, to observe one another's values, actions, and reactions to different situations. Without patience, relationships remain shallow, built only on surface-level attraction or temporary compatibility. Those who rush emotions or force closeness too soon often find themselves disappointed when reality does not match their expectations. When patience is practiced, relationships develop with authenticity, allowing both individuals to truly know and appreciate one another. Patience also plays a crucial role in conflict resolution. No relationship is without disagreements, but how these conflicts are handled determines the strength of the bond. Impatience leads to reactive behavior, anger, frustration, and hasty decisions that can damage trust. However, when patience is exercised, individuals take the time to listen, reflect, and respond with understanding rather than emotion. This leads to healthier communication, where conflicts are resolved rather than escalated. Patience allows space for dialogue, giving each person the opportunity to express themselves fully without fear of being misunderstood or dismissed. When both individuals are patient, conflicts become opportunities for growth rather than sources of division. Another important aspect of patience in relationships is its role in building trust. Trust is not something that appears instantly. It must be earned over time. It requires consistency, reliability, and the ability to show up for one another in both good and difficult moments. A person who lacks patience may expect trust to be given without proving themselves, but true trust is built through repeated actions, not words alone. By being patient, individuals allow trust to develop naturally, ensuring that it is genuine and lasting. They do not demand immediate loyalty, but instead cultivate it through their behavior, demonstrating over time that they are dependable and sincere. Patience also allows individuals to accept and appreciate the imperfections of others. No one is perfect, and expecting perfection from a relationship is unrealistic. When people are impatient, they often become frustrated with the flaws of others, leading to unnecessary conflict or disappointment. However, patience teaches acceptance. It allows individuals to see beyond temporary frustrations and recognize the deeper qualities that make a person valuable. Rather than focusing on minor flaws, patient individuals appreciate growth and progress, understanding that no relationship is free of challenges. This perspective creates stronger, more resilient bonds as it fosters an environment of mutual support and encouragement. Additionally, patience cultivates emotional stability within relationships. When emotions are rushed, individuals often make decisions based on temporary feelings rather than long-term understanding. This can lead to impulsive choices, such as ending a relationship too quickly or forming attachments without truly knowing the other person. Patience prevents such mistakes by encouraging individuals to take their time in making decisions, ensuring that their choices are based on wisdom rather than fleeting emotion. A patient person does not allow momentary frustration or doubt to dictate their actions. Instead, they take a step back, reflect, and move forward with clarity. This stability strengthens relationships, as both individuals can trust that decisions are made with care and thoughtfulness rather than impulse. Lastly, patience strengthens commitment. Every meaningful relationship will face difficulties, whether due to misunderstandings, life circumstances, or personal struggles. Impatience often leads people to give up too soon, believing that difficulties signal the end of a relationship rather than an opportunity to grow. However, patience allows individuals to work through challenges rather than abandon them. It fosters perseverance, ensuring that relationships are not discarded at the first sign of hardship, but instead strengthened through overcoming obstacles together. Ultimately, patience is the foundation of meaningful bonds. It allows relationships to develop at their natural pace, fosters trust and understanding, and ensures that conflicts are handled with wisdom rather than impulse. Without patience, relationships remain fragile and fleeting, but with it they grow into something deep, lasting, and truly valuable. A strong woman values consistency over fleeting charm because she understands that genuine relationships, whether romantic, platonic, or professional, are built on reliability and depth rather than momentary attraction. While charm can be enticing, it is often superficial and temporary, whereas consistency reflects a person's true character. A woman who is strong in mind and spirit does not seek validation from empty words or temporary excitement, but instead values actions that prove reliability, respect, and sincerity over time. She knows that charm may captivate for a moment, but it is consistency that builds trust, respect, and a foundation for meaningful relationships. Charm is often associated with charisma, eloquence, and an ability to make a strong impression in a short period of time. While these qualities can be attractive, they do not necessarily indicate depth, sincerity, or integrity. A person may say all the right things, create an exciting atmosphere, or appear to be the ideal companion in the beginning, but if their actions do not align with their words over time, their charm quickly loses value. A strong woman does not fall for empty gestures or sweet words that lack substance. Instead, she observes patterns of behavior, looking for consistency in how a person treats her, respects her boundaries, and follows through on their commitments. Consistency is a reflection of character. It reveals whether a person is trustworthy, dependable, and emotionally mature. A strong woman values consistency because she understands that in any meaningful relationship, whether it be friendship, love, or business, reliability is key. She seeks connections with people who are not only present during the good times, but who also remain steady in times of difficulty. She values those who do not change their treatment of her based on convenience or mood, but who show up for her with the same level of respect and effort regardless of circumstances. She knows that true strength in a person is not demonstrated by grand romantic gestures or temporary attention, but by the ability to remain committed, honest, and dependable over time. A strong woman also understands that consistency creates emotional security. When people are inconsistent, when their actions fluctuate between care and neglect, attention and disinterest, it creates confusion and instability. A woman who knows her worth does not tolerate emotional unpredictability or mixed signals. She does not waste time trying to decipher whether someone's affection is genuine or temporary. Instead, she values the peace that comes with knowing that the people in her life are reliable and that she does not have to question their intentions. Consistency eliminates unnecessary stress and allows relationships to develop on a solid, trustworthy foundation. Moreover, a strong woman has experienced enough in life to know that charm alone is not an indicator of a person's true self. Many people can be charming when they want something or when they are in the early stages of getting to know someone. However, the true test of character is whether they remain just as kind, attentive, and respectful once the initial excitement fades. A strong woman does not fall for temporary effort. She observes whether a person's behavior remains steady over time, whether they keep their promises, and whether they continue to treat her with the same level of care and attention long after the novelty of a relationship has worn off. Additionally, a strong woman values consistency because she is consistent herself. She does not believe in playing games, being hot and cold, or manipulating emotions. She is secure in who she is and extends the same level of honesty and reliability to those around her. Because she holds herself to this standard, she expects the same from others. She does not waste time on those who are unreliable, flaky, or inconsistent, because she understands that real relationships require mutual effort and respect. She seeks partnerships, friendships, and professional connections with people who share her values and who understand the importance of showing up, not just when it's easy or exciting, but always. Furthermore, consistency is a key element in personal growth and success, which is something a strong woman deeply values. She knows that achieving anything meaningful in life, whether it's a healthy relationship, a successful career, or personal development, requires steady effort, discipline, and persistence. She applies this principle to her relationships as well. She does not settle for people who put in effort only when it benefits them or when it is convenient. Instead, she surrounds herself with those who are committed to long-term growth, honesty, and stability. Ultimately, fleeting charm may be exciting in the moment, but it lacks the substance needed to sustain real relationships. A strong woman seeks more than momentary admiration. She seeks depth, trust, and authenticity. She understands that the people who truly care for her will prove it not just in grand moments, but in the small, everyday actions that demonstrate their consistency and commitment over time. While charm may catch her attention, it is consistency that earns her respect, trust, and lasting affection. In the end, a strong woman does not measure the worth of a relationship by the excitement of fleeting moments, but by the steady presence of genuine effort. She knows that charm may spark interest, but it is consistency that builds trust, respect, and lasting bonds. She does not settle for empty words or temporary affection. She values those who show up time and time again with sincerity and reliability. In a world full of distractions and superficial connections, she stands firm in her belief that true strength lies in commitment and true love in unwavering presence.